Hey y'all, Mark here with Sharp and Christ Leatherworks. Hope y'all are doing good, having a good day today. It is Monday, so hope y'all are having a good Monday out there. I'm just sitting here, been doing some repair on this leather vest here, and I thought I'd bring you along, have another little leather talk here, and show you a little bit of what I'm doing. So this guy, a fella brother in Christ that I go to church with, he brought his vest. He likes to wear his vest, and he said that the pocket here was coming apart. So, and he asked if I could repair it and work on it, and I said, well, let me go ahead and take a look at it, and I'll let you know from there. So I brought it home and I took a look at it, and I said, yeah, that's something definitely that I can do. I haven't done a whole lot of leather repair at all. I've done some repair on leather bags, a couple of them, but that's about it for leather repair. And so this is kind of a fun project for me, even though it's different and I'm kind of feeling out as I go, but we're definitely able to take care of it. I thought I might be able to use a sewing machine, but when I got to looking at it, I said, nah, that's not going to happen. So I'm just hand stitching this here. And I'm just using a waxed thread here. So when this vest was put together, it was definitely put together with a machine, but that was before the liner was in and everything. So if I wanted to stitch it with a machine, I'd have had to undo some of the liner and then stitch that back up too. And I said, you know what, we'll go just hand stitch it. May take a little longer than expected, but you know what, it's gonna be good, and he's not gonna have to worry about it coming undone on him again, that's for sure. And I'm starting out, I'm just doing a running stitch on it. So I'm taking my awl here, and the holes were already there from the previous stitching, so I'm just trying to use those same holes, but I'm sticking my awl in there, finding out where it comes through, and then pushing it through there. So just like that. And it's been interesting. So almost all, like 3/4 of this pocket was coming undone from the vest. So I decided to I was just gonna stitch up one side because I thought it was one side at first, but then it started going all the way to 3/4 of the pocket, and I said, I'll just undo the rest of the stitches, and I'll just make the whole pocket on there. That way the stitching all matches too. The stitching would have been different. This is definitely a thicker thread than what goes in a machine, and so I'm not worried about that though. It's definitely going to be durable, and it's going to last. And he loves his vests, and a good leather vest you should not have to throw away. A good leather vest you should be able to repair. Definitely. So part of the trouble I've been coming across in this so far is just, when I'm working on a wallet or something like that, if I'm making something, I'm pre-punching the holes, and they're fairly easy to go through. I'm using a bigger needle. This is more of a stitching, this is more of a sewing needle here than a leather needle. And so it's got a little more of a point to it, which I'm finding beneficial because the holes, I got some fabric I'm going through here as well, not just leather. So using my awl, making that hole a little bigger is definitely helping. So, but I've been at this for a little while. It's taken me a lot longer than I thought. Right now is the first opportunity I have to do it without the kids around. So I've been doing it, dealing with the kids and stuff too, taking care of them. So it was taking a little longer than I expected. And I'm not gonna, when I quoted him a price, that was me thinking I'd be able to whip it out on the a sewing machine that a fella I know has, and he's willing to let me use. But I told him on Sunday, when I quoted him that price, it was going to be for that. And I told him on Sunday that I determined that I was going to have to hand stitch it. And I was telling him a little bit about what it needed, and I didn't realize, but it sounded complicated when I was telling him. So he's like, well, is it still going to be the price you quoted me for, And I said, oh yeah, we'll stick with the same price. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm not really in the leather repair business, although I'll repair whatever I can. If someone comes to me with something, I will definitely give it a go. But this is part of this is helping me build my skills here in leatherworking and leather repair. So because of where I'm at in Iowa, you search up leather repair on the Google, and you will not find but 1-2 places. And one of the places, the main guy, is the fella that I was able to meet, and he wants to get out of it. So he'd been doing it for 20-30 years, and he's just kind of done. He's at that age, he wants to enjoy time with his grandkids, and he wants to work on working with rocks and stuff and making jewelry, and so that's cool, but he's still getting these phone calls of people wanting to get repairs done and things made, and he asked if I would be willing to take on clients like that, and I said, absolutely. I said, I'm gonna be upfront and honest with him. And one of the awesome things about it was he's like, well, he said, I'll even help you. He said, if there's something that you can't do, like shaps, for instance. I've never done a pair of shaps, like rodeo shaps, or even bike rider shaps. I've just never done it, never had the opportunity to learn it. And so, it went the wrong way on that. That's all right. Talking, I done lost track of what way I was going. But the fact that he's willing to help me out on that and help me learn is really a great opportunity. I'm thanking the Lord for, because otherwise, how I've learned leather work has just been, trial and error, YouTube University, just things like that. Mostly trial and error, because you can learn something on YouTube, but until you actually do it, you just don't get that experience until you actually do it. You can watch all the videos in the world on plumbing, but until you go to do some plumbing yourself, you don't quite understand what it takes. So keep that in mind just as you're looking to learn leathercraft. You just got to kind of jump in and go for it. Get you a basic set. Some of these places like Tandy Leather and Weaver Leather Supply, and even Makers Leather Supply, they offer some really great resources for beginners and kits and stuff like that to get you started, so you don't have to buy whole hides of leather. You can actually buy a kit that has the leather already there, already cut. Some of them, like the ones you get from Tandy, they already have the leather, the holes in them punched through. They provide all the lace if you're lacing something, or all the thread for stitching. So they make it really user friendly for a beginner. Oh, Blue, you have to excuse me. It's just me and Blue in here, and he hears one thing. He thinks someone's trying to get in the house. He's a big old lover, but he sounds aggressive. So yeah, just plucking away at this and just doing it in the daylight right now while we still got some light. It's been a real cloudy day here. Blue. No. No. That's just the kids out there playing. Settle down. I know. You want to know who it is. I know. Yeah, we've been getting some weather here. Today's actually, the anniversary for 2 or 3 years ago, my wife and kids were caught in a tornado pretty bad out here. And we've been, just last week we had another tornado warning. Blow. Go lay down, bub. Just last week we had another tornado warning and stuff, and we were watching the weather pretty close on that, because we don't want anything like that to happen again. That was one of the scariest things ever. I was working at the time, and I get a call from Martha, my wife, and our daughter was real little. Blow! No! Excuse me. I'm going to get him away from that door real quick. Blow, would you settle down? No. Go on. Go lay down. All right. So yeah, that was pretty scary. I was at work at the time when it happened, and just raced out of there, raced over here, and by the time I got to where they were, the tornado had passed. Her car was in the street, you know, there were limbs down everywhere, and phone poles, and even trees. And she wasn't in the car, so I was trying to call her and stuff. She was, one of the houses that she parked in front of ended up coming out and helping get the kids out of the car and took them into the house. And actually most of that house that they were in was not too much left of it. They rebuilt that whole thing pretty much. So you see me using pliers here to pull that through. With a sharp needle, pliers come in handy. Blow. Go to place. No. Place. Place. So, just working through that. Sounds like we're supposed to get some more. We'll see. Been real cloudy out today, and nothing's really happened though. The Lord's been keeping us protected. Looks like little Samson's coming in. Come here, bud. Let's get that leash off. Samson, you want to say hi? Come here, bud. Say hi, Samson. This is little Samson. You've probably seen run into a video or two. He's about 12, 13 weeks old or something like that. Go on, buddy. Good dog. Been tearing away at another project I got going, another order. It's a long wallet for a gal. Been tearing away at that. Getting that done, and actually the fella called me up, lives in another state, said that the first wallet I sent him, he was showing his friend and stuff, and his friend ended up liking it so much he asked if I could do him one, but with a slightly different thread. He wanted orange thread actually, and I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I like orange thread. I didn't have any, so I ended up going and getting some from the leather shop here, Tandy Leather in town. And boy, that stuff is, I want to do me something with that orange thread in there now. Looks good. I was really kind of debating for the thread to use on this. I was really debating on getting a thread that you would put in a sewing machine. You know, a lot finer, and just hand stitching with that. But I was like, you know what, this just seems too thin. To me, nothing should be made out of with thread that thin. Just doesn't seem like it'd hold up well. Get you a little thicker thread, and wax thread. When I'm done, I'll go ahead and hammer it down with a nail, and that will just help seat it down a little bit so it's not so bulky looking. And this thread, honestly, it doesn't look bulky looking at all. So if the other pocket was ripped at all, I'd do that too. But this other pocket's really pretty solid. He was saying, he's like, I don't know why it started to rip and the other one didn't. I got to looking at it. This is the right pocket for the right hand. So he probably uses that much more being right-handed. So it gets a lot more wear and tear. But hey Zora, what you doing? You out there playing? What you doing in there, girl? Okay. I see you.
No, boy.
Make sure the dogs stay in.
Dad, I want to open the door.
You need some help?
Yeah, I need some help.
I'll help you.
And the way for the outside.
Yeah, let's keep the dogs in. There you go. Go on. Gotta make sure little Samson doesn't run out. As soon as you open that door, he just wants to run right out and see what's going on. So yeah, it's a real nice leather vest though. It's got a, it's actually got a pocket in it for concealed carry. So that's a really nice thing to have. Yeah, I was saying with the pliers, with the sharp needle, they really do come in handy. Because you get going, and these sharp needles are easy to poke, you know. Looks like I'm snagged up just a bit. If I can get that out without having to just give a little pull here. No, I'm gonna have to grab my, what's it called? I'll be right back. I'm not at my workbench. I'm just sitting on the couch because I'm hunched over. And this table is really a good height for doing things on the coffee table. But, and I'm closer to the window, so I figured I'd utilize this daylight while I can. But it's going away quick. The sun's definitely not out. But it's still good and light. But I'm just about where I have to go in the light here, so. Pull that one tight. And this, I'm trying not to cut my thread here. There we go. Did I cut the thread? We'll see here. Oh, I did. Well, that's all right. I can go ahead and just rethread it and be good to go. I left myself with plenty of thread. I did not want to run out. So, just the things you deal with, you never know. But talking on the video, I went the wrong way, so I had to back out. A whole lot easier to back out of when I'm doing another project, when I punch the holes and stuff. But when you're not punching the holes, it's a little more difficult. But what kind of projects are y'all working on right now? What do y'all got going on your workbench? Kind of things are you guys working through on here? looking forward to getting that long wallet done. Won't be too much longer on that, so it's coming right along. I'll be able to get started on his belt, which I've already got dyed. I just don't have any holes punched or have the length done or anything, but I ended up, he contacted me and gave me his length, which I'm still leery on because, you know, when you can't measure them up yourself, I've realized when you're making a belt, you can't go by the waist size of your pants. It's different. I wear a 34 pant, but I measure my belt 38. So that's just something weird I found out. I don't know if y'all have experienced that doing belts and stuff, but got a fellow that I work with. He does this 3D printing stuff, and I made a belt for him about 10 years ago, and he still got it. But he said, if you're still doing it, he said, I'd love to get another one if you do that up. And I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, well, what do you think? Would you be willing to do a trade? I'll do you a belt, and he could do me up a couple of 3D printed stuff. And you know, with that 3D printer, you can do a lot of things. I was thinking, a couple things I've been thinking about, possibly having him print me out some templates of things that I make. That way it'd be easier, because some of the templates I have, they're just on cardstock. Other ones that I've bought are on that acrylic template. And that acrylic template's really nice. Don't have to worry about it just getting old and wearing out and then making a new one, which isn't too big a deal, but it just takes extra time when you've made a template already and then you have to remake it. But yeah, I've been thinking about that, maybe having them do some strap-ins type thing for different kind of strap ends of the straps, you know, and a lot of possibilities. Even been thinking about if I wanted to do more holsters, because I've done holsters, but I've just done them on the firearms that I own. And when you do that, you got to wrap your firearm good in plastic, saran wrap. And so I don't offer holsters right now because I don't want to really make that a thing having to do with my own firearms when I wet mold them. But you know, on that 3D printer, he could print me out. And the blue guns, you can buy the blue guns, but the molds, those things, you know, they add up. They're not cheap. And so he can print them out for me. And it's a whole lot cheaper. One, if I need him to do multiples. But yeah, I was thinking about doing that. But the thing with that is, you can only do with the ones you have. So let's say I get a mold made for a Glock 19, you know, I could sell Glock 19 holsters, but what if someone comes to me with a 1911 or a Smith & Wesson M&P, you know? So I'm just not quite for certain yet that I want to get into holsters. There's folks out there that do fine job on making leather holsters and things, so I'm just not sure if I want to offer that or not. And then I might do some research. Samson, don't be biting on that. Gonna tear up all our wood here. But it would be nice to have the option, you know, someone in town here or something, or online, I could offer it. Glock 19s are pretty popular, so a lot of people own Glocks, and if I wanted to get a 1911 one too, you know, 1911s are pretty popular, so I think that'd be a couple of holsters I really want to make. And you know, I carry the Glock 19 a lot of times inside the waistband, actually most of the time with IWB holster. So I would definitely do that. Because I've made, actually for my 605, it's a Taurus 605 357 little snub nose. I made a inside the waist holster for it, and I like it. Really nice. You got that leather. It's a sturdy enough leather to where you don't have to worry about the trigger getting pressed if you bend wrong or something. And so just been thinking on that, you know, how I want to expand and keep my options open. Holsters are fun to make. And I have a knife sheath that I've started. I started making it for me, but then some business picked up, so it's kind of fallen by the wayside, you know. The projects for yourself are kind of new things I like to try. I like to try on my own stuff instead of on someone else's order. Because if I mess it up, I can, chances are I can probably work around it, but I only want to work around it if it was mine and not have to work around someone's order, you know. So wife's been taking her class, her CDL class. Oh, my nose is itching like crazy. And looks like this will be her last week for it, and she'll get her CDL license. So that's a real blessing. She's looking forward to being done with the class. I am too, actually, for that matter. Because I've just been, it's been me and the kiddos. Makes for a long day when you're just taking care of the kids yourself. But she's done it before, and I tell you, it's amazing the strength of a mother. Some people would say that being a stay-at-home mom means you wouldn't have a job. I beg to differ. I'd say a stay-at-home mother works harder than most. Just been a real blessing to be able to do some leather work, because I ended up cutting my hours back at my other job, going part-time there, be able to homeschool our son and daughter. And so it's nice to be able to bring in some extra money with the leather work. But something I've noticed just having a little bit of a time with is keeping the kids busy when I need to do work on a project, you know. So, and I hate just sticking them in front of a TV, but sometimes it's needed. But you got to monitor so much of what kids watch anymore. It's crazy, the things that they show on things they call kids shows, you know. I mean, they just push their ideologies and agendas and stuff, and you know, you can teach your kid whatever you want, but as for me and my house, we'll worship the Lord. We will serve the Lord. And so if a TV show is anti-God or loose in their morals, I don't want them watching that stuff. And I'm fine with drawing that hard line, you know. I mean, we watch YouTube. It's you pretty much get to the point to where how much of something are you willing to support? You know, like we quit. We canceled our subscription for Netflix that we had for years and stuff, because Netflix was just getting so terrible with the junk they were showing on our kids' shows. And at least on YouTube, you're able to monitor that a little bit more, it seems. So because we pay for YouTube Premium, and so you don't deal with the commercials and stuff like you do on if you don't. And then I remember we've had YouTube Premium for quite a while now, and the kids were over at my sister's house and was watching some YouTube, and a commercial came on, and he's like, "What is that?" Like, that's a commercial, bud. Wish I had a thimble, but I couldn't find our thimble. So I'm kind of using the pliers here as a push through and a thimble when I need to. Because I tell you, after a day of this, your fingertips are feeling it. I remember when I started back at Leatherwork, and I hadn't stitched in quite a while, and then I go to stitch and my fingers were red. The next day they were all sore, you know. It's like playing guitar. Your fretboard hand, you get calluses on your fingertips. And then if you don't play for a while, you go back to playing and you feel it big time in your fingertips. Same thing with leatherworking. Well, sounds like the kiddos are gonna come back in, so I reckon we'll just wrap up here. And I want to thank y'all for coming along. Hope this was helpful for you at all, or at the least somewhat entertaining for you to sit through. Hope I didn't bore you too much, but thank you guys. I appreciate you guys hitting that thumbs up when you do, and subscribing. I'm really thankful for it. So Lord willing, maybe one day we can monetize this, and this can be a stream of income as well. You just never know. So y'all have a great day, and just stay encouraged. If you're beginning leather work, or feeling like you're not good enough, just keep on trucking away at it. Keep practicing. And y'all have a great day. God bless.